Hello and welcome to Storybook Crafts. Today I am going to show you one of my all-time favorites from one of my all-time favorite books. We're going to make story spoons, and story spoons are like little puppets, and they are wonderful for retelling the story and reliving the story over and over again, especially if it's one of your favorites. This is something you may want to consider doing. As you notice, the set I have here, I painted myself. Now, not everyone can paint and draw all of the characters on their own spoons, so I'm going to show you an alternative. Instead of hand painting or hand drawing your spoons, you can use photocopies of the characters or your own hand-drawn illustrations on paper. I found this one online. It is good to note that please do not reproduce characters for any kind of profit. We are doing this just for fun, just for our own crafting, and this is a wonderful way just to experience the story of these wonderful characters just for ourselves. So I found this online. These are some of the characters from the book. You can also go ahead and draw your own versions. I think these would be super cute to draw your own witch, frog, dog, cat, dragon, and bird, and of course Broom, and color them rather, and then cut them out and do this with your own illustrations too. So you're going to need some spoons. These are more like spatulas. Any kind of old wooden spoons will do, even new ones from the store if you can find them at the dollar store or something like that. But this is a great project for old wooden spoons that are too worn out to use to cook with anymore. They make great little puppets. So we need how many characters? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spoons, and I'm incorporating the witch and the broom all into one. So I'm going to need 6 spoons or spatulas. There's not really anything you need to do to them to get them ready. Especially if you're using old worn out ones, they're pretty smooth already. If you happen to be using new ones from the dollar store or something, there may be a few little places that you want to go through with sandpaper before you get started, but otherwise they should be ready for you to start with. So the first step is to paint your spoons. I've gone ahead and painted this one. I'm using acrylic paint, any color you like. I liked green for these, so I just did 1 coat of paint. That's all you need. Depending on your spoon, if it's a little darker or a little rougher, you might want 1 more coat, but I like it with just the 1 coat of paint. I'm going to get the book out of the way here, The Room on the Broom by Julia Donaldson and Alex Schaefer. All right, so I've got my mess mat. This is also very important. Make sure that you are working on a surface that you can get messy, because it's going to get messy. Once your spoons are painted, then you want to go ahead and cut out all the characters that you're going to use for your spoons. So I've got all of mine ready here, ready to go. And of course, some of them are bigger than the spoons we're using. So here's the original photocopy of the witch. I've gone ahead and I've put it on the spoon, and I kind of played around with where I liked it to make sure at least I got her hat and her wand and her bow, because those are all very important to the story. So I got those in there, and then I did a little rough cut of where I wanted it, and then I went in with my scissors and rounded it out. You're also going to need scissors for this, a couple of paint brushes, some Mod Podge, that's going to be our last step, and also our glue. That's how we're making these. So cut out all those characters, have them ready, find where you like them placed on the spoon, and now we're going to start to glue. And I'm using Mod Podge for this. Of course you could use other kinds of glue, but I love Mod Podge as an adhesive and also as a coating. So I'm putting the Mod Podge on with the paintbrush that I only use for Mod Podge, because it won't be very good for paint anymore afterwards. And I'm putting that directly on the paper. The paper curls up a little bit. This is a water-based paint, so adhesive glue, so it just needs a little bit, And then you're gonna place that right back on. Let's see, I have it just about right. All right, makes it nice and smooth. I really love this about Mod Podge. It does take a little while to dry, so you want to get a nice coating on there. If your paper starts to bubble up a little bit, just let it dry. It'll always dry flat once you've left it to dry the way it needs to. Now let's get my broom on there, and I cut the broom out, and I want my broom on the handle, so I'll flip it over. And again, I'm gonna put the Mod Podge right on the back of the paper. Carefully, carefully. And this is a water-based glue, as I mentioned, so it's okay if a little bit gets on your fingers. It dries really quick and it washes right off. Let's see, I liked my broom just there. There we go. All right. My broom is on, the witch is on. I'll curl that around a little bit so it fits right on the side. Use my fingernail to smooth it out. And now we actually want to go ahead and give this a coating on top. Mod Podge is really cool glue because it sort of bonds, well, of course it bonds, that's what glue does. It bonds the paper to the surface, but it also, when you use it as a coating, it sort of makes them bond together in a special way. It looks like they were made to be together. I love it. I love Mod Podge. Brings it all together. A little coating right on the edge. This is matte Mod Podge, so when it dries, it will look flat. It will not look glossy. But if you want glossy, then you can use your glossy Mod Podge, which is also a fun one. All right, it's ready to sit and dry. We're gonna set that aside. This is what it's gonna look like when it's done. I've got a finished one here. Here's the frog. So it's all dried up. It didn't really even take that long. It took about 10 minutes or so for the paint to dry, and another 10 minutes or so for the paper to dry. And now, as you can see, it's all smooth, and I can play with it all I want, and it's not going to get damaged. These are super fun to do. I'm going to show you one more just so that you can see that process. We painted that one, but this one is an unpainted one. And so here's the dragon. This one's going to be for the dragon, and I'm going to play around with it to see like which part of the dragon is really, you know what I might actually do for this one? What would be really fun is maybe to wrap it around. So once I have this, yeah, I think I might like that. I'll find a way to wrap it around the spoon, and that way the dragon will actually go all the way around. I might have to make a cut or two here or there. This is why I do it before I glue, because then I can figure out where the paper needs to go. There we go. And when I'm marking it out, I might make just a little bit of, put a little pressure on the paper there with my fingers. That way I will know where I need, there we go, to fit the paper onto the spoon when it's all done. And as you can see, when you make those tiny little cuts and then you start wrapping it around, I know that when I get the glue on here, it will lay flat. So that's going to be really fun. I'm going to like that one a lot. I hope you have fun making these story spoons. Here's my finished ones again, the ones that I painted myself. These are so fun. Alrighty, take care. See you next time.